Hello, this is video number, let me double check real quick because it's really late right now for me. Video number 6 in the USO Xbox 360 maintenance and repair training video series. In this video, in the previous video we discussed the Generation 1 Xbox 360 and I demonstrated how to open it and the correct way to clean it, as well as the correct way to open and clean its DVD drive. Now then, for this video we're going to be doing the Generation 2 Xbox 360 Type S or Slim, as Microsoft named it. So, without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so first things first, you're going to want to pull the hard drive down here on the bottom. Got your feet here, and then you've got that little gap that you just saw. Hook your thumbnail in there, and it opens right up because it's a little catch door there. From there you've got the hard drive here in its bay. Grab the ribbon very gently and pull, gently but firmly, straight up until the hard drive comes into grabbable distance, and then you just pull it right on out. And there's your hard drive. Now then, once that's done, grab here on the fins and pry, and it comes right off. Now then, a lot of guides online are going to tell you to break this plastic off. I'm going to go ahead and agree with them because it makes the next portion so much easier, even if it might potentially kind of mess up the aesthetic. It's okay, it's just plastic. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take a flathead screwdriver, you're going to come in under here, you're going to gently just kind of pry in and break these plastic weld points on the correct orientation. Yes, I do. But you're going to come in here and you're going to break these plastic weld points, and then after that you're going to come up and you're just going to pry it straight up, and it's got these little teeth on one edge that hook in on this edge, on this edge right here, so it kind of hooks in like that. But you're going to break the plastic weld points on the opposite side, also on the front here and on the back here, and then once you've done that you can go ahead and lift and remove this section of plastic. Now the reason why that's important is because it makes it possible for you to now see and get to these little, let me turn on the light so you can hopefully see them. Makes it possible for you to see and also get to, is that correct? Yes it is, it's right here. Alright, these little plastic clasps right here on the inside, and there's 3 down each side. And the way to get to them is, and they release this edging here, but the way to get to them is you come in at kind of an extreme angle, and well, actually, you know what, you're going to be able to see them, so you'll know exactly what to do to go ahead and get to them. So let me just go ahead and pop this out real quick. And as you pop them out, make sure that you keep enough tension on it so that it doesn't pop itself back into place, because it's really nerve grinding when that happens. Alright, so here is this little piece of plastic cowling here that secures most of it. Now on this side you've got this little tiny guy right here. This guy is a royal pain in the butt, okay? Because when you come in to get him, you've got to come in at a little angle and then get him like that. And this piece of plastic that I had you remove, go ahead and insert that there so you can see it outside of the system. There we go. This little piece of plastic has an extra little catch right here, which is a pain in the butt. And then it's also got these weld points along the inner edge. But what it does is it blocks your view of these little hoops that you need to get to. Okay, and it blocks your ability to get to them also. To a rather big degree, Microsoft never intended for anybody to actually get this thing back open really once it was closed. But you know what? I just showed you how, so it's no big deal. But anyway, this is where all of your weld points are that you're going to end up needing to break the plastic on. Okay? And once you've broken those, this guy will fall, or will release pretty easily from there. Your only major headache might be this little catch right here. Alright, so moving right along to the other side. Let's flip it over. Now then, we've got fins up on the top just like last time. So what do we do? Come in here at the back, get that under there, and just pry that up like so. So it'll pop up just a little ways. So you can see that. Hook your fingers under. Pops right off. Now you've got this plastic here. This plastic here doesn't actually obstruct your ability to get to those catches as much as the previous plastic did. You'll be able to see in there more easily. There's no super tiny spots, so what you can do is you can get just a little white LED here. Turn off this light. Alright, there we go. Get a little white LED light, or just any little light anyway, and you'll be able to shine it down in there, see what you're going for, and then hook the first one. Make sure that you keep that tension on it to keep it up. Hook its opposite, same thing, and then just go on. Just go on down the line like that. But the thing is that as you keep that tension, you will end up causing it to basically pop itself off, because all you'll have to do is just, get that hoop, and then it'll just pop right up with the tension. Now, once you've actually got that off, what you're looking at now is the top grate, the Jimmy point to Jimmy the drive open, and also the wireless networking adapter. Yes, the Xbox 360S was the very first Xbox to come with a built-in wireless networking adapter. The Xbox 360 Generation 1 did not have this. Now, to get this screw out, you're going to need your T10 star driver, and then you're going to just twist that thing and then gently pull, and it comes right out. Now, set that someplace safe, because you don't want to have that getting lost or broken on you. And then the next part you can actually do with your bare hands. Here on the back, you can have two tabs that are here on the plastic, and they reach in and hook onto the top portion here. To undo that, you just apply force, like so, and yes, and then you lift, so it releases, and then you just go ahead and tuck those behind on the separate piece of plastic so that they don't re-hitch. Now on the other side, that one's a bit of a headache there, because you've got one here connecting here on this portion of the board, coming from this portion just above the power socket, and then you've got another one here coming down and connecting to this portion of the board right next to the power socket. So yeah, what you do is right along the seam, apply force, you press in, and then you pry apart. Voila, pops right off. No muss, no fuss. No special tools. Well, other than the T-driver. But anyway, alright, so now what you're looking at is your 5 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they're all the large black flat-headed screws. Do not take the black screws out of this section here. This is your graphics and main processing unit area. Don't take these out. Alright, now let's just go ahead and bring the camera down here for that portion of the operation, even though it's just turning screws. Now the reason why we didn't take the faceplate off yet is because the faceplate has ribbon cable that's connecting it directly to the board on the front of the 360. and it's really the last portion of the case that you take off, so it's a little bit kind of in reverse from the original 360. You can't replace the faceplate on this one. It's hard built into the system. It's a non-removable thing, at least for normal everyday things that you can do without tools sort of stuff. So anyway, alright, so now we've got all the screws out. What do? Flip it around. And as you saw on the underside, the faceplate has a bunch of tabs. Now it's also got those same tabs up here on the top. So what we do now is we lift from the back gently and then wiggle and jiggle it a little, and it should release just fine, just like so. And so there's your heat shielding, there's your top. Now what you can do is you can go ahead and hose that off, dust that off, and you're good to go. Now getting this portion off is just a touch tricky, because I have to hold it at a... oh boy, that's... yikes. Tee-hee. I have to hold this at a very careful angle. And it's got this loop of plastic that goes around its catch, which is just a royal pain in the butt. But anyway, once you've got that up, come in here, hit that catch, and it pops right off. Too easy. Alright, next. The guts that you're now looking at are generally the same as what we had previously in the former generation of 360. You got your DVD drive, hard drive bay here, hard drive connector, DVD drive connector, main processor fan, cowling. So to remove the cowling, you just reach in, pull it right out. It's only being held in place by foam blocks anyway, so it's not going to hurt anything to just reach in there and just lift it right out. Now then, the great thing about this one is that it's got the fan sitting directly on top of a heatsink, which is sitting directly on top of the processor, and the fan is pulling air in and then up and out. And I'm going to be showing you the very fast, quick, dirty 12-volt fan mod on this one, because I can actually do that in one fell swoop with this, and it's not major invasive surgery. Now, how do we get this DVD drive out? Same as we did last time. Here's the same SATA cable. Reach in there with our flathead and pop it right off. Power cable. Reach in there with our fingers while supporting the drive with our other hand. Grab it and mercilessly but gently and firmly pull. And there it is. Also on this one, you'll be pleased to note that there is no extra stuff here in the front that's going to keep it in place and then mangle itself when you try and pull the drive out. So, shining beacon of hope. Not really. But it's at least better than the stuff we had last time. Alright, now then, for cleaning purposes, before you do anything else, take a picture of this right here. Okay? Take a picture of this whole section right here. The whole reason why I say that is because this SATA connector here goes to the hard drive, this power connector here goes to the hard drive, meaning this SATA connector goes to your DVD drive, this power connector which connects to the board underneath this cowling, which is the hard drive bay, connects to the board back here. Okay? So we take a picture of that before we remove this plastic. Now what we do to remove this plastic is, number one, we go ahead and disconnect the hard drive cables by unscrewing this large flat screw. Comes out gently and easily. Set that aside. This pops off. Now, if you're wondering for putting this back together, you know, oh no, what if I get it misaligned? Don't worry. Microsoft actually thought forward on that one. There's two large, you know, tough bolt-like posts that sit instead of two obvious and hard to miss post holes here. So when you put it back on, you know, even without the bolt, it's not going to wiggle much. Okay? It's in there pretty firmly. So there that is. Now you're wondering why the hard drive bay wiggles around at all. It's because it's actually on very thick rubber suspension. Alright, now then, to get the bay out, you've got two bolts to look at. One is right here in the back. Let's go ahead and take that one out. One. And the other one is right. There's the plastic. There's the bolt. And on this side, you can see the bolt, which is right there. Alright, so now we just go ahead and hopefully we didn't break anything when I was being stupid right there. And we take that bolt out too. Now then, grab here, and gently lift up. And everything just falls away, and there it is. Now then, what you're looking at on the inside here with the case fan, this extra blue tape, I have already performed on this one, as with the 360 Generation 1, I've already performed the 12 volt fan mod for this one. Now this 12 volt fan mod is actually much simpler, okay? You've got four wires that normally plug into this plastic connector here. This fourth wire, which is blue, and it is universal to all 360Ss and Es, it is a blue wire. And it's the one that is on the very end. So if you pay attention when you look at it, zoom in here for you, you will see you've got two teeth up top, and then you've got Germany, black, red, yellow, and then normally there'd be a blue wire right here. So what you do is you flip it around like so, and you see these little catches here. Now, the easiest way to do this, way number one, just come in with some cutters and then cut that blue wire here and then cut it back here where you see it folded over. Sorry, I can't get that in frame better. Alright, so yeah, this is where all the wires come together. You can just cut out that whole section of blue wire there that will never be able to be undone. But if you want to be able to undo it in the future, what you'll do is you'll come in here, you will raise that cap. Ow! Fudge! Just poked myself. Awesome. Anyway, alright, so you will go ahead and raise that catch gently, hopefully without poking yourself like you just watched me do. For everybody that's laughing at me, laugh it up. Alright, anyway. Alright, so get that catch raised up like so. Then you can just pull the wire. You can then just simply pull the wire straight out of there, and as you can see, I've got it taped back right here. Okay? Got it taped back. So this operation having been done, or cutting the section of wire out having been done, you're done. Your 12 volt fan mod is now complete for the Xbox 360 S and E. All you have to do now is plug it right back in. Boom. No muss, no fuss, no complicated splicing of anything. It's just pull a wire out, tuck it back, or cut a section of said wire out, and done. Too easy, right? Well, anyway, so with the rest of the system, cleaning it out, once you've got that cowling out, you can get to the rest of the everything back here. You can hose it out, Q-tip it out. Guarantee you, if one of these has been in service for a year or more, it's got a bunch of crud in here, especially on the fan and especially on the heatsink. For these, you're going to want to go ahead and use your cheapo soft bristle toothbrush to go ahead and clean that out. Just brushy. Canned air it out, and once you've got all the dust and the gook out, you're basically good to go. The next portion of this, though, is inevitably the DVD drive. The DVD drive on the Xbox 360S is a very interesting beast indeed, because it's not your typical DVD drive. It's got this lovely little rubber gasket on the back, which you can go ahead and pull right off. It's not going to destroy anything. Just remember, remember these two little black posts sticking up, and then these two, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, one hole there, and then, oh boy, alright, let's see here if I can get this. Okay, so one hole there and then one hole there on both ends of the gasket, or the noise reducer. Now you've got another thing here, this little foam gasket that goes around the entirety of the tray, or the bay door. What you're going to want to do is, number one, take note of this yellow spot. Something Microsoft did right with this system. Yellow spot, DVD drive, boom, jimmied. Too easy. Now then, this one, when I initially got it, had the issue of being stuck half open and half closed. It was literally about that far out of the system. And it would not close all the way, it would not open all the way, no matter how much I tried. It would just sit there and do nothing. And I didn't like that. So I looked online and I found a bunch of different tutorials. One guy said that you have to bend this metal here and just mangle it to pieces and get the thing open. That's wrong. Don't ever do that. You don't have to do that. All you've got to do is cut the gasket on either side right along the seam, because it's glued on, gently but still glued. And once you've done that, just want to close that there. Once you've done that, once you've actually cut that gasket, you can come back in here with your standard Phillips head screwdriver and you can pull these screws. Okay? Let's go ahead and get these. Now between videos, I'm going to go ahead and put the DVD drive back together, because having it apart is a royal pain in the butt. But anyway, this one, cleaning this DVD drive, is exactly the same principle as cleaning the previous DVD drives in the Generation 1 Xbox 360s, because, again, same principle, gook is going to build up because, again, spinning disk. Okay? Spinning disk, colliding particulate matter, yada 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 yada, boring stuff. So, all the screws out. Next thing that we do is the super complicated thing, which is figuring out just how the hell do I get this thing off. Well, it's actually kind of simple. Grip on the top and on the bottom and gently, firmly lift. There it is. No mangling necessary, just lift. Alright, so you got your brain board here. And let's go ahead and get the rest of this off. To do that, because it hooks onto the underside, you've actually got to kind of slide it off, which is honestly easier said than done. Joyful. So yeah, what you gotta do, okay, I just rediscovered it. What you have to do now that you've got this metal piece off is take your hand, plastic, turn it back over, make sure that you're supporting it by that plastic, and then lift up, or just kind of gently shake, so that these four plastic posts that were sticking up through the metal are now down, and then I just did this, okay, are down, and then slide it backwards off of the drive. There we go. So like I said, a very unique methodology of doing your DVD drive there, Microsoft. I think it's interesting. I like it. It gets the job done. Let's see, where is that Jimmy point? Jeez. I want to say it's right there, but I'm not entirely certain. Let's try right there. Well, that certainly passes through. Teehee. I cannot find the thing that I'm looking for. Ah, it's just fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen a rare occasion where I've just made myself look like a complete moron. Ain't it fantastic? Ain't it glorious? Ain't it lovely? Ah, wait, there we go. Alright. So your Jimmy point, once you get it open, is actually right here. You just gotta make sure that you hit it right. But anyway. So the solution that I found for getting this thing back open is that there's actually 2 arrows on this gear. There were 2 arrows last time. Jeez. Oh, that's amazing. Hang on. Where's my stupid light? Got myself half out of frame this whole time. I apologize for that. No, arrow's not right there. Alright, so it's a similar gearing system to the previous one. I'm going to try and find the other video and link to it, but I think he says that you need to get the arrow on this gear here lining up with this little plastic post here, which can be a royal pain in the butt to make it happen. Now, here's the problem with this. Here's the major problem with this. To make that happen properly, what you have to do is get this tray out. To get this tray out, what you have to do is you actually have to physically remove the tray. And this is going to sound like, and actually one of my friends over at the USO that I taught how to do this stuff said straight to my face that, you know, it sounds like I'm advising people to break things. But it's really not, because the plastic is malleable enough to have this done. It's just that you have to be nail-bitingly careful and gentle as you do this. If you are not, I guarantee you're going to destroy this plastic, and then you're going to have to get a whole new drive. And nobody wants to have to do that, especially not for just a drive stuck issue. Especially when on this one, it is so easy to fix. But what you do is you bring the tray out, or at least as far out as you can, and then you go ahead and pry the thing up carefully. Now there may be a more comprehensive guide out there that tells you a better way of doing it. I've looked. So far I haven't found one. I certainly do hope that another one exists that is more comprehensive and does give better advice as to how to fix this. But what I've found so far is that wherever the tray is, you've basically got to very gently, very carefully pop it out of the rest of the drive. And then from there, line up your gears, and then just stick the tray back in, just straight from the front. Just slide it on in, and it'll work just fine every single time. As I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate here. If this will cooperate and stop trying to poke me. Because like I said, I actually fixed this one. There it is. So, that's that. Once you've got this guy open, you know, cleaning it out, scrubbing it out, exact same principle as the Xbox 360 Generation 1 DVD drive. So, that's it for this video. Question, comments, put them in the comments section below and I will happily answer them. I hope that you use this guide as a reference in the future. And I hope that it has been informative and maybe even a little bit funny. I apologize for any issues that I had keeping the drive in frame. But honestly, once you've opened up the old school 360 a couple of times, and once you've opened up your fair share of the old school DVD drives, figuring out how to open up this one will be it'll be a rock climb in the park. A little bit difficult, but not so difficult that it's impossible, as long as you're willing to just keep looking for the gentle solution, because that's what we need to find when we're dealing with electronic parts. Always look for the gentle solution to opening something, because there should be one. If there's not, then it isn't meant to be taken apart, sadly. And I hate products like that. But anyway, so I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you for watching, and have a good night. Okay, so I made a little bit of a goof with the Xbox 360S teardown and cleaning. I forgot to include the power brick. So this is going to be tacked on to the end of the video because I kind of suck at video editing. Alright, here we go. Step 1. You're going to need a pick of some kind. A sharpened ice pick will work great. You're going to have your 4 feet here and here. You just go in and pry them things off. Stab mercilessly. Stab, stab, stab. This one's not cooperating. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now there's the 4 feet off. Now then, the thing that you're going to encounter here that is a bit of a curveball. I can find... Oh, there it is. Slight bit of a curveball. This power brick actually uses security Torx stars. Okay? Which means that they are a Torx head with a post right in the middle. So, what do we use? A security Torx head driver. So I'm going to go ahead and size this real quick, because I'm not entirely certain what size to use. Bear with me. Oh, there we go. Looks to be a... Yep, Security T10. Let's show that to you real quick. Security T10. Let me go ahead and take our driver, swap the head out, and take out those screws. Now these screws are actually going to drive out a lot easier than the screws in the old classic Xbox 360 power bricks. Probably because they're, you know, a little bit more widely thread. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just rambling because I'm tired. Got nothing better to do. It's Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. Am I out partying? No, I am not out partying. I'm doing these videos. Yeah, buddy. Alright, so get your bolts out, line your hands up along the seam, grip top, grip bottom, grip top, and gently wiggle and pry apart. Take note of where the fan wire is, and there you go. Now then, when I cleaned this one, I just went ahead and pulled the tape out and didn't bother putting it back. I didn't really see a point in doing so. But what you'll do is you'll go ahead and take out all the cowlings here to really get into that fan, because these fans, holy crap, these get so dirty it's not even funny. Again, if you see any particulate stuff on the inside of the brick here, go ahead and hit it with some canned air, spray it on out, take this apart, spray it, Q-tip it, alcohol Q-tip it, and then put it all back together gently and carefully so as not to accidentally knock anything out of place, and then just bolt it back together. So there you go. That's the quick version of how to clean the power brick on the 360 Type S. Just remember, you're going to need the security bit head, and please don't make the mistake that my buddy made in the barracks. Don't take a Dremel to this. Don't do it. He did, trying to grind out the post in there. He doesn't have a power brick anymore as a result. Yeah. He's also not allowed to have electronics in the barracks anymore. Fun, fun. So anyway, I hope that you have found this video to be fun and informative. Questions and comments, comment section below. Have a good night.